The AI video generation space is constantly being pushed in all kinds of different directions. Some look to uplift stylization, some look to add extra modalities like audio, and lately, Minimax with their latest Halo AI version 2 has upped the game in terms of real-world physics, accuracy and prompt following, and overall cinematic quality. This thing is no joke, and I know I'm a little bit late to talk about it, but that means we've really been able to see what this thing can get up to. First, I want to go over some great examples from Thokino. This is a nice Twitter thread that'll be linked down in the description below, but this is also a user from my Discord server. So if you wanted to see generations like this as they were happening in real time, I suggest you join the Discord server. But yeah, I would also recommend following Thokino on Twitter because he is testing the latest models often, and these are some underrated posts. The first thing that we're going to note from this brand new Minimax 2 model is the fact that it's incredible at physics and human anatomy. As you can see, this generation is supposed to be like an American Ninja Warrior type of deal, fit, acrobatic type folks doing physics-related challenges. They can't fall in the water, they gotta get past all these obstacles. You can see in this generation, the guy is jumping on these little cubes and they are bobbing and bouncing in the water as you would expect. And not to mention his anatomy, as he jumps, he flings his arms in the air and it looks pretty realistic overall. I mean, it's kind of shocking. The water looks great, all the people in the background, and with the Twitter compression here, it's just blurry enough to look like it could be real footage from an actual game show of some form, which is pretty nuts. It's also got things on lock like acrobatics, and this is insanely impressive. There's lots of fast movement. I mean, that girl is flipping around like crazy, but it actually maintains coherence so you can track her body movements and understand what's physically happening in space, even though nothing is physically happening in space. It's all happening in the latent space. I think this one's great because it shows that it has a very realistic understanding of physics on our world, but it definitely has the training in the latent space to imagine things that you wouldn't see every day, like this weird multicolored balloon monster thing walking down the stairs. Like, it walks in an almost human way. It's creepy. It's like it's from a movie or something like that, as it tries to use its weird multicolored limbs to keep itself stable, like this amalgamation creature. Minimax is not the only model that is good with this latent space imaginative stuff, but its understanding of physics really roots everything in reality and gives it a nice coat of polish, I will say. I mean, we could see that as these dudes parkour on the construction site. This doesn't look OSHA approved, but they're definitely having a fun time. The girders are bending. I wonder if that was included in the original prompt. You can really think of Minimax as like a set piece, a dynamic cinema set piece to create movies in. All kinds of different stuff, but it's going to behave like you would typically see in a film or in reality. There are all kinds of physics demos and stuff that we can run through, but I want to get into some of my own testing. That was a pretty realistic car crash. I'm not going to spoil this whole thread. If you want to see Thokino's examples, please check out the link in the description. I'm going to be testing this out today right on the Halo AI website. They've got some pretty great features which we'll touch on, but I would like to mention that Halo AI did sponsor me to make this video. So I am rocking with an ultra plan today to mess around with this sucker. I am a little bit late to the party, so you guys might know by now that this model has had some really positive reception already, but I can promise to you guys that just because this content is technically sponsored does not mean that I'm going to change my opinions or fail to show you guys messed up generations or something like that. I plan to keep things honest, I plan to keep things open. I've got nothing to hide, and frankly, I don't think Halo AI does either. Alright, so first up, we've got a clip from the 2025 National Cat Swim Diving Championship. We've got a confident tabby cat that struts across the diving board, balances himself at the end, and then front flips into the pool. And this is in 1080p, by the way. Yeah, this thing can actually generate in up to 1080p quality, which is pretty crazy. Only up to 6 seconds in 1080p though, so let's see how this goes. We got the tabby cat walking across the diving board. Makes sense. He does a front flip right into the water, man. That's actually crazy. I've seen some examples of people doing the same exact type of prompt before, but generating it myself, it's crazy. Because it does look and walk like a real cat until it gets to the end and then bam, does the front flip. Something a cat would never actually do. So just suddenly develops like this human-esque quality to it, and it makes it feel like a scene from a movie, or that we just conjured some interdimensional cable type beat. It's real cool. I can also post this, apparently. Share your art. Sure. I did 4 generations, so we've got another one here. He sort of sneaks across like he's hunting, and then boom, another front flip, but he doesn't make it all the way into the water because we're capped at 6 seconds. It's still crazy, though, how he just like kind of jumps on his hind legs. It's creepy realistic. It has a very deep understanding of overall physics in the world, or at least in this example, the physics of the diving board, plus the pool, plus the cat, and what it looks like when a cat moves and does things. Like, you'll never see this in real life, but the training data has figured out what it would probably look like just from a text prompt. Look very carefully at the cat's shoulders as he walks. I mean, that is crazy town detail. I'm really excited to test this out against Kling and VO3 today. Those are my 2 competitors I've decided to put this thing up against. Oh, this one's a little bit slower. Okay, this is the 10-second generation because there are multiple settings, of course. Wow, okay, that one did screw up the body a little bit, you can see. It looks great right up until the end here. He does kind of a peer out, he lifts his tail up, and then he does his jump, and it does so great, but it kind of starts to mess his body up right before the cat hits the water. But I just love how timid he is, and then just boom. That's exactly how cats do things. They wait till the last second. Oh, wow, another sneaky cat. He's a little nervous. Going right up to the pool, the diving board, and boom. Okay, that one, again, it kind of mushed him up. Like, if we freeze frame there, yeah, that's a little mushed up, but like, pretty good. It definitely tracks his whole body in a circle, you know, as he rotates for the front flip. I'm also, by the way, testing image to video, so you can see I've just made an anime style image in Ideogram V3. I'm gonna go ahead and bring that over onto Hallyu AI and toss this right in. Anime style anthropomorphic lemon character does a backflip and shoots into the sky, spraying lemon juice everywhere. I want to test its ability to do more animated things. We'll give that for 10 seconds. We'll do 2 gens. Just off a first glance, by the way, with these cat tests, I can tell you for Hallyu O2, this brand new model, I gotta say, the 1080p 6-second videos seem to be a little bit more coherent overall. Just ever so slightly. Not to say that the smaller res model isn't also super effective. Alright, for my next generation, I've got a child leaning in to discover the universe hidden under the stairs. Kid looks very real. This is also, again, an image to video prompt originally generated with Ideogram. It's got like this painterly effect. It's kind of slow, dreamlike, but it works overall. They also have built-in camera movements with Hallyu O2 as well, which seem to work pretty well. How's this one? I'm hoping for some more realistic motion. Still kind of slow motion, but he gets up, kind of leans in to get a good look at the universe hidden under the stairs. I will say, one thing I've noticed is that generations take a decent amount of time. Longer than, I would say, even VO3, but it's not terrible. I also imagine that it depends on the plan that you actually have. Of course, cost is always a factor. The cheapest that they have is $10 a month. That gets you 1,000 credits. So on this brand new model, that's about 40 generations per month on the lowest plan with the lower resolution model and the 6-second time. Obviously, if you bump up your time, it's going to cost more credits, and same goes for resolution. The resolution bump is a very hefty increase. So as an entry-level plan, $10 a month, that's not bad to get started with some really top-tier image generation, especially if you're into cinematic stuff, if you're into physics, and even potentially storytelling. Since we have image to video, we can use a consistent image model of some form or function to do consistent characters, although the audio side of things will be entirely up to you. Alright, I'm going to go ahead now and compare against VO3 and Kling. Let's grab this $10 a month basic plan on Krea AI. Let's go ahead and try VO3 first. I want to test out that same exact cat in the diving board. I'm going to do another prompt. Scene from a superhero movie. A giant pumpkin Halloween monster crashes down on Houston, Texas, and begins to devour city buildings. Dramatic action. We're going to go ahead and do the lower quality model for this, but let's also try 1080p. Our anime gens are also done. Let's see how this looks. Okay, the animation so far is more flash. I mean, listen to the prompt. We will give it that. It's definitely not anime style. I mean, this guy kind of like a flash game flips backwards, which looks good, and then he splashes away with lemon juice. At least it's realistic. And the lemon juice is also very much 3D. So you can see that this is probably not a model that you'd want to use for 2D animation unless you're looking for that more Flash, Americanized TV animation style, not something anime-esque. Although, let's give this other generation a shot. Yeah, kind of similar in style. Okay, he does his flip, sort of, and then, let's see, is he gonna blast off? Oh yeah, you know he's gonna blast off like crazy. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. These are definitely entertaining gens, nonetheless, but anime-styled, I wouldn't say. Alright, here is the VO3 gen, and of course this one does indeed have audio. Diving board looks good. The cat looks good. Okay, he does a dive into the pool for sure. Does not do a front flip. Great, the cat does look great. He's just sort of jumping into a pool, though, which we would probably expect to see something pretty similar in the training data itself, the YouTube-based training data on VO3. Man, the prompt adherence on Hallyu AI is really good because not only does it look like something you'd actually see, the cat walking up in a realistic way, but he actually does the whole front flip. You're not going to find any real videos of a cat doing a front flip into a pool like this. It's able to think outside its base training data, right? Here is Kling 2.1, which gives us a little bit more of a punchy looking image overall. The cat looks fine. He jumps up though and then jumps off into the pool. It's a weird angle. Not really understanding that I want footage that looks like it's from a 2025 national event. And I don't know, does the cat do a front flip? He jumps onto this other weird board and then does something that kind of almost could be resembling a front flip, but it's not nearly as good as both VO3 and Minimax 02. Alright, so our pumpkin prompt is done, and this definitely plays to the strengths of the model. It looks like a real cinematic scene from a movie. This is freaking epic. The giant pumpkin lands down, smashes the city, and just starts devouring, absolutely eating buildings, which is pretty crazy. I love the fact that it just absolutely destroys, man. It really does look like a scene from a movie for the most part. I mean, all the debris flying everywhere, evil pumpkin. It's something. The pumpkin looks pretty good, although this is the 720p model, the non-1080p one. I've got the second generation as well. He falls from the sky, obliterates a skyscraper all at once. All these cars are destroyed. The pumpkin is super angry as well. He's super hungry, man. He just wants to absolutely destroy Houston. It's pretty interesting that all of this debris in the cars get affected before the pumpkin even lands. Is that just because the pumpkin is up and coming and there's like a huge wind wave? I don't know. Is this even realistic? Is this what we would expect or want from our movie? Not sure. So though, it's got a good understanding of an action scene like this, something really terrible happening in a stereotypical way to a city against this thing. Of course, next up, I'm gonna drop an image of myself in and see what we can get up to. Alright, so I'm prompting this one for a giant dump truck to back through the rear of my wall and then unload a ton of lemons onto the floor. Like, I just got a massive lemon delivery, you know? And we'll stick with the 10-second model since this is a little bit of a longer prompt. Yeah, the prompt following so far has been really great with this, so I suspect this will actually go quite well. I was really surprised to see it actually take out VO3 on that cat test we did earlier. I think it'd be cool to try this scene from the superhero movie with VO3 as well, so I'm gonna send that through Korea. As I'm waiting for gens, one of the biggest disappointments I must say about this brand new Minimax 02 Hallyu AI 02 model is the fact that it isn't open source. I really would have liked to see some open weights and code for this, maybe even a smaller model designed to run more locally, just something in the way of an upgraded open source model. This model is impressive, but they definitely seem to want to keep it under wraps, at least for now. It seems to me like they believe they have an edge in prompt following, coherence to realistic movement and physics, and they're trying to hold that over the competition in order to gain a little bit of ground. I get it, it's a strat that makes sense, but personally, I feel like there's so much to be explored in terms of fine-tuning and cheaper, more optimized development so people can actually run these models for free on their own PCs. Just pay electricity. Alright, the 1080p version of our pumpkin monster destroying the city is here, and I gotta say, looks pretty similar, but surprisingly different considering the pumpkin monster actually has like an anthropomorphic-esque root body. Really creative, really cool. If there really was a pumpkin monster, he probably would come from the ground and have these root hands like this. He does seem to have a building attached to him. I don't know if that's because he's trying to devour and eat the building, but yeah, overall, it's pretty cool. I like the jack-o'-lantern monster. The physics feel realistic. It feels like a scene from a real superhero movie where this big bad villain is making his presence known. How is this one? Okay, again, the root body, a little bit anthropomorphic, jack-o'-lantern head. It doesn't show him directly attacking buildings, which is a little upsetting, but the building at least falls down to the background. It's epic. It's cinematic. The dude looks like a real pumpkin monster. We could also theoretically improve this by doing image to video as well, making sure that we fine-tune the perfect-looking pumpkin monster for whatever scenario we want to produce. YouTube clip, streamer lifts showing the camera a whirling, moving tornado encapsulated entirely inside a mason jar. A mini farm can be seen whipping around inside of it. I don't know if that last part's gonna screw up this prompt. Hopefully not. Boom, let's send that off. Alright, how did VO3 do on our action movie pumpkin? I noticed it does these giant black bars, which I'm not a fan of. Literally losing out on our generation having these giant black bars here. I should be able to generate natively in this aspect ratio if I want it. Just saying, I haven't seen Minimax 02, Hailu AI 02 do that at all today. Dang. Pumpkin is upset. Destroying the city. I'd put this around the quality of the first gens that we did with the pumpkin. Definitely a scary pumpkin monster, I'll tell you that much. I mean, the sound adds a lot. If there's anything I'm really missing from every video generator that is not VO3 right now, it is that audio, man. It makes a world of a difference. You don't even think about it until you get access to it, really. Boom. That thing is scary, but it doesn't have as much of a cinematic presence. The way the camera moves kind of makes it feel like a little animation demo someone built, like in Blender or something like that. Less like an actual movie. Alright, we've got the truck backing into my rear wall. There it goes. Oh, and it's leaving me the lemons. Perfect. Look how shocked I am. Oh my god. I'm like, yep. Hey guys, how's it going? Oh yeah, just the dump truck leaving a bunch of lemons for me. This is my order of lemons. I'm a little embarrassed. I'm acting like I didn't know it was going to happen, but here they are, delivering the lemons. It did a great job maintaining the background, by the way. Even as the truck starts to pull away, you can actually see my LEDs in the background fully coherent, which is crazy. Yeah, it dumps off all the lemons, and the lemons are moving very realistically, too. That looks great. Wow. Good understanding of physics and how things should behave in the real world. If you're looking for your own simulation black box to mess around with, I don't know if there's a better one to do it with. Here is the issue with Kriya versus Hailu 02 though. Like if we really wanted to use VO3 reasonably against this model or even Kling, I'm already out of generation time. I spent $10 for the baseline plan, already out of generation time, and we made 3 gens. You get way more gens directly on the website here. Alright, let's see this truck crash through. Oh. I like that it stretched my face a little bit on the side here, too, keeping the style of the lens consistent. You can see as my head moves over, it kind of stretches because it's a wide-angle lens. And then all of the lemons just get delivered in a pile. Don't act surprised, Matt. You ordered those lemons. You know you did. This one feels a lot more realistic because you can see the whole room shake, including myself, and my face actively get shocked. I'm like, what's going on? And then, boom, it crushes through the back panel and then actually dumps a ton of lemons down. I mean, they kind of do defy the laws of physics by sticking up there for a minute, but as a complete gen, breaking through the wall, you can't beat it. It's a ton of fun. It's a ton of fun. I will say, though, like, it did a pretty great job at the start keeping me consistent and actually looking like me. Once my face changes to this, though, it's starting to give me qualities that I wouldn't normally possess. By the end of it, doesn't exactly look like the same person. POV, first-person view. Sneaking up on Bigfoot in the woods and freezing him with a freeze ray. This could be really cool. Alright, we've got some more generations. This is me showing off the moving tornado. Okay, so yeah, I'm just showing it off. There it is with the little farm on the inside too. That's actually kind of cool. Why is that so dope? It does a great job keeping me consistent in the background and like understanding that the background should be blurred as I lift it up to the camera. It's literally just in a mason jar. Pretty much exactly as I described in the prompt. The prompt adherence in this thing I think it's probably its strongest point. It's able to combine its vast, deep understanding of physical reality with an ability to understand what we mean when we ask for certain things in video prompts. Let's see, how did this one come out? Pulling it out. Again, it's very similar. Crazy how consistent it is. That's how you know when a model is very good at understanding a prompt. It'll do something consistently over time where just lift up the mason jar, there's their tornado, there's the little farm. They're both just kind of spinning around in there, showing it off to the camera. Yeah, these wait times, though, I mean, I'm picky with my wait times. I like my generations fast. Allows you to iterate creatively and kind of hold on to ideas as you generate and move through the latent space. And speaking of, I want to get a really diverse idea of what people have made, so I'm going to hop over to the Explore page. And again, this is where I shared my gen earlier. You can leave likes. I don't think you can leave comments, but you can also download others' gens. We've got young Will Smith, of course, eating spaghetti. Very realistic. I mean, we've really mastered this type of prompt. Some fairly Odd Parents-esque generations, again, showing off some of that more American Flash-style animation. Oh, wow, okay, this is pretty cool. We got two dudes ripping around in a car, and the camera is clearly mounted directly on the vehicle, which is a pretty impressive thing for them to pull off. The reflections look great. They seem to be in Italy, some sort of European country. How's some 3D animation? Oh, yeah, that looks good. That's like Pixar-style stuff. The chameleon changing all kinds of different colors. Oh, a lion actually jumping through a ring. That's pretty crazy. Man, that looks so realistic. Other than the fact that the fire goes out after he jumps through, man, that is insane. And here you can see an actual Lego animation made with this. This is only the lower resolution model, but we can see, like, from the plastic molding, all of these hyper-realistic reflections and details on the Lego character itself, and it works. It looks very, very realistic. I mean, some of these imagination bubbles, I mean, they're cool. They're not obviously all there, lacking a little bit of detail, but that's pushing the model a little bit further. Just the Lego-style stop-motion animation is enough for me to be impressed. Here's some more 3D animation. This is sort of B-movie style. Pretty wild. All these little bee characters, when they hop up, they're actually flapping their wings around, which is insane. The interior even looks like they're in some sort of bee-themed, hive-themed area. Incredible detail on the fuzzy little bodies on these bee characters as well. I mean, it's just nuts. It's absolutely nuts. If any model is like Hollywood's Cooked type deal, it's this one, because it does the fine details so well in that cinematic stuff or even 3D animation. It's just shocking. It's crazy. Obviously, Hollywood isn't cooked just yet, but this is the type of stuff we're generating now. We're only like 2 years into advanced video generation or so. It's only going to get more crazy, guys. I can't wait till every model under the sun starts to add audio, because then it's going to be like, all right, let's try to tell some stories. All right, this is POV freezing Bigfoot with a freeze ray. This kind of looks like a video game, but hyper-realistic. I took a part of the freeze ray off, and now we're freezing Bigfoot, and it looks like he almost got frozen by the end. It didn't fully, like, freeze him into a brick of ice like I was expecting, though. It did more of, like, this video game type animation thing. I like the creative design with the trees, though. It is pretty intriguing. All right, let's try Bigfoot at 1080p. We'll say we're going to freeze him instantly into an ice cube comically with a freeze ray. And we'll send that off as our final little prompt. Got a few gens slowly coming through. Here's the second original Bigfoot one. We've got our freeze ray. Very similar style, video game-esque. Freezing Bigfoot. Incredibly consistent. That's really interesting about this model, is how consistent 2 generations can be. I mean, we have similar freeze rays, similar Bigfoots, similar colors, all kind of across the board. And yeah, we do just kind of freeze Bigfoot in the same way. We shoot the beam, he gets blue like a video game, but he doesn't turn into like a comical ice cube like I wanted. This is a full 1080p gen with the newer prompt. Let's see, we got Bigfoot coming along, still very video game-like. And boom, there he goes, getting frozen into a comical ice cube. I really like this. It works well. I like the fact that it kind of blurred the background as we got a good look at what the freeze ray actually kind of looks like, and then boom, just frozen into an ice cube. See, this is what I imagine the graphics in video games of the future to look like. It's all very high polished, feels almost like a 3D render or a 3D animation, but it's a video game. First person, freeze Bigfoot, there he goes, turning into an ice cube. Definitely much, much better than the previous prompt. Alright, this one came out great. Again, think about how similar all of the stylization for this has been. This is definitely the best one I've seen yet. He kind of unfolds the freeze ray like this and then points it and shocks him right into this cube. And I love the animation when Bigfoot gets turned into an icicle. It's very cartoon, it's very animated, it's very lively. You can see him stumble backwards and then freeze right at the end once the freezing process is complete. It's just so cool. Perfectly just putting him right into an ice cube, as I would expect. Ooh, okay, so this generation's looking a little bit more realistic. Got the freeze ray, okay, and then Bigfoot gets half frozen. I don't know if I like this one as much, but it's definitely more filmic and less video game. It's the first one we've seen like that for this prompt. Again, I like the focus racking, how it starts off focusing on this freeze ray object, and then focuses on Bigfoot as he's about to get blasted by the beam, and then the top of his head is sticking out and poking out of the ice cube in a pretty funny way. And for our final generation, it seems to have gone the video game route again. We've got our freeze ray, we've got our Bigfoot, he walks up, and we get him with the freeze ray. And this time, he doesn't freeze exactly as I'd like him to. You can see he actually kind of starts to continue to move around a little bit in the ice cube after being frozen. But I like the instant freeze effect animation. I think that looks pretty good. Does a great job with that kind of stuff, inferring those small details to make it feel like a video game or feel like a movie. So rounding things off, my final thoughts on the Haleo AI 2 model, also known as Minimax 2. This is probably the best model I've seen for cinematic things, for physics-related things. If you need that infinite sandbox, that holodeck reality simulator that you can try all kinds of different experiments in, this is definitely the way to go. It's more grounded in reality than a lot of other models, probably leaves it lacking a little bit more on stylization compared to a few models, but for the practical real-world use cases, this thing is definitely stellar, I'll say that. Even taking down VO3 in a few tests, pretty freaking incredible. Pricing also isn't bad directly on the Haleo AI website, and it seems like they are offering a pretty sweet deal for brand new users. New signups on their website will receive 500 credits. That's 20 generations. Not too bad for the price of zilch. But yeah, I know I was late to cover this one, and there are other video models that I do want to talk about. Thanks so much for watching though, folks, and join the Discord server if you haven't already, if you want to be up to date and seeing this stuff as it happens. I'm MattVidPro AI, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.